Now, prior to vulnerability assessment, prior to penetration test, there is a document that is to be signed between two parties, that is rules of engagement. Okay. Now, if you do it within the organization, then it will be considered as the ethical hacking. But when there is a different third party that performs a penetration test on your organization, okay, or you perform the penetration test onto the another organization, then this particular document should be signed first, the rules of engagement, okay, that specify what activity is permitted and what activity is not permitted. Okay, the rules should be made explicit in a contractual agreement. Okay, because we basically will allow third party to hack into our infrastructure, right? So that is where first we need the rules of engagement, and we set the clear penalties if they break the rule. Okay, then attack profile. Okay, attacks come from different sources and motivation. Okay, and there are different types of uh, information that is present onto the system, onto the infrastructure. So we need to figure out that what information we are going to share with the third party or the penetration testers, basically. Okay, so there are three types of penetration test defined accordingly. Okay, black box, white box, and the gray box. Black box, where we do not provide any type of information, just the name of the organization and very few, you can say, unuseful information, basically. Okay, like we can provide them the space within the organization, they can sit over there, that's it. Okay, we can allow them to connect to the network, and some people will be there to help them. Okay, like the IT administrators over there, to get them the resources, that's it. Okay, nothing uh, apart from that, everything they need to get. Okay, every information they need to collect from the organization, and then they perform the attack. Okay, from the reconnaissance phase or the information gathering phase, what you can call. Okay, then white box, we give complete information. Okay, the whole detail about the network infrastructure will be provided. Okay, whole detail about the web infrastructure, whole detail about the production department, operations department, everything. Okay, all the set of IP addresses, all the set of controls that have been implemented, everything will be provided to the penetration testers. Every information will be provided to the penetration testers, that on which they need to perform the penetration test. Okay, then it is the gray box, partially known environment. Okay, to model the insider threat agents, for instance. Okay, so what we do in this one, we give limited information. Okay, some part of the data will some part of the infrastructure will be known to them. Rest of the infrastructure is not known to them. Okay, that depends on what type of applications do you have and what is the requirement over there by the organization. Accordingly, they can go for it. Okay, then some of the organization also goes for this bug bounty programs. Okay, that is basically operated by a software vendor or a website operator, where the rewards are given for reporting the vulnerabilities. Okay, where the pen test is performed on a contractual basis, costed by the consultant. A bug bounty program is a way of crowdsourcing detection of vulnerabilities. Okay, some bug bounties are operated as internal programs with rewards for employees only, and some of them are open to public, right? Then some of the techniques used in the penetration test may also be employed into the exercises between the competing teams over there, red team and blue team. Red team plays the offensive role. Okay, try to infiltrate the target, and blue team to perform the defensive role by operating, monitoring, and alerting the controls to detect and prevent the infiltration over there. Okay. Then white team is also there sometimes, which sets the rules of engagement and monitor the exercise, provide the arbitration and the guidance if necessary. Okay. And then the purple team is there. Okay. The red team and the blue team meets for a regular debrief while the exercise is ongoing. Okay. This is basically to encourage the collaboration between two. Okay, the red team might reveal where they have been successful and collaborate with the blue team on working out a detection mechanism. And this process might be assisted by the purple team members acting as facilitators over there. Okay, the drawback of the purple team exercise is that without blind or double blind conditions, there is no simulation for a hostile adversary and the stresses of dealing with that. Okay, so purple team is very rare. Okay, most of the time you will be finding out the red team and the blue team over there. Okay, then there is a passive and active reconnaissance. Okay, now pen testing and the kill chain attack, they both have their life cycle. Okay, analysis of the adversaries TTPs, the tactics, techniques, and the procedures has established various kill chain models of the way modern cyber attacks are conducted. Okay, and the penetration testing engagement will generally use some sort of techniques over there. Okay, the first phase is the reconnaissance phase. Okay, in this phase, for the black box testing, the pen tester establishes the profile for the target of investigation and surveys the attack surface for the weaknesses. Okay, the activities can be classed as passive or active. Passive techniques unlikely to alert the target. Okay, and querying publicly available information. Active has more risk of detection, and this might involve gaining the physical access to the premise or using the scanning tools on the target's web services or the network. Okay, open source intelligence is one of them. Okay, to gather the information passively. Okay, using the web search tools, social media, and the sites that can scan for vulnerabilities in the internet connected devices and services. Okay, to obtain the information about the target. Okay, and then you have the social engineering. Okay, obtain the information, physical access to the premise or even access to the user accounts through the art of precision, right? Footprinting is there, using the software tools over there like the nmap or uh, the harvester and all, to obtain the information about a host or a network topology. Scans may be launched against the web hosts and against the wired or the wireless network segments if the attacker can gain physical access to them, right? While passive footprinting is possible by limiting the packet sniffing. Okay, and most of the scan techniques require active network connection that can be picked up by detection software. Okay, then it is the war driving. War driving is mapping the location and the type of wireless networks. Okay, operated by the target. Okay, then this basically is done by some of the networks that can be found by accessible from outside the building. Okay, so simply sniffing the presence of the wireless network is passive activity. Okay, and there is a risk of being observed by the security guards and the cameras over there. Okay, drones and unnamed uh, aerial vehicle and war flying. Okay, that allows the tester to, reconnoiter the campus premises and even to perform the war driving from the air. Okay, tools like Wi-Fi, Pineapple can easily be incorporated on a drone. Okay, and drones also provide a vector of an enduringly popular social engineering technique. Okay, dropping the infected USB media around the premises with the expectation that at least some of them will be picked up and used. Right, so that's basically active or passive way of reconnaissance to get the information. Okay, then the pen test attack life cycle. Okay, in the kill chain attack life cycle, reconnaissance is followed by the initial exploitation phase, where the software tool is used to gain some sort of access to the target's network. Okay, and this foothold might be accomplished using a phishing email or a payload, or by obtaining credentials via the social engineering. Okay, having gained the foothold, the pen testers can then set about securing and widening the access out there. Okay, and there are the number of techniques that are required. Okay, the persistence. Okay, persistence is a term that basically attacker wants to be there for the longer period of time. Okay, try to hide their activities from being detected. Okay, so they establish a command and control backdoor channel. Okay, a covert command and control channel, so that it is not easily detected, in order to upload the attack tools or the download the exfiltrate data. Okay, and persistence is also for one more thing, that if the connection somehow is lost. Okay, so as soon as the system is back online, okay, the connection is again recreated. Okay, that is persistence. Like for example, if someone attacked your system, someone compromised your machine, then the attacker may try to use a backdoor or the script over there, so that as soon as for example, if you turn off a machine, okay, so the next day you turn on your machine, the attacker will get the access to that particular system. So that basically is the persistence. Privilege escalation is one of them. Okay, persistence is followed by the further reconnaissance, where the pen tester attempts to map out the internal network and discover the services out there, okay, running on it, and accounts configured to access it, moving within the network, accessing the data sets likely to require the higher privileges over there. Okay, then the attacker will use another exploit or malware to execute with the system root privileges, or try to get the system root privileges over there. Okay, that's basically privilege escalation, gaining higher level privileges basically. Okay, then the lateral movement, attacker will try to get some more hosts. Okay, like for example, my system is compromised in the network, so attacker will use my system, or attacker will try to find out all other machines connected to my system. Okay, and then compromise those machines also. That's basically the lateral movement. Okay, pivoting is attacker will use my machine to access the DC, for example. Okay, attacker will use my machine to exploit the DC, for example. So that is basically the pivot host. Okay, then at last there is action on objectives. Okay, for a threat actor, okay, this means stealing the data from one or more systems, that is data exfiltration that is to be done. Okay, from the perspective of a pen tester, it would be a matter of the scope definition, whether this would be attempted. Okay, and in most cases, it is usually sufficient to show that the action on objectives could be achieved. Okay, and at last, cleanup. A threat actor, for the threat actor, it means of removing the evidence of the attack, or at least evidence that could implicate the threat actor. Okay, and for a pen tester, this phase means removing any backdoors or the tools and ensuring that the system is not less secure than the pre-engagement state. Okay, so these are all the activities that we need to perform when it comes to the penetration testing. Okay, so that's the end of the lesson number 3. What we have discussed in this one, we have discussed about some of the network scanners, some of uh, the tools over there, like ipconfig, ARP, ping, uh, netcat, netstat, dig, dnsnm, right, nmap, the harvester, and all, right, some meta exploit, some exploit framework. Okay, we discussed about the vulnerability scanning. Okay, different types of vulnerability scans over there: credentialed versus non-credentials, intrusive versus non-intrusive. Okay, some scanner types over there. Okay, CVE, CVSS, and all. Okay, we discussed about the threat hunting over there, and we discussed about the penetration testing and the mm, kill chain, or the life cycle of the penetration testing, and the things that are required by penetration testing, the rules of engagement, the types of penetration testing, white, gray, and black box. Okay, the teams over there: red team, blue team, white team, and purple team. Right. So, any confusion as of now? Hmm?
A lot of stuff.
Jamie, all good?
Yeah, I was just saying there's a lot of stuff. Sorry, I wasn't confused. I apologize.
Okay, no issues, no issues.
No more than I was a while ago.
Okay, so lesson number 4 now. I'll talk about social engineering and malware. Okay, these are the two of the important things. Like till now, what we have discussed, that how to, a little bit, that how to hack a system.